a parent or your husband or a sister or something, but to lose the things that you love most in your whole life are your children.
For 8-year-old Jeff, it was incomprehensible.
There was just a huge loss, a huge void in my life. I can just remember putting a lot of blame on God and saying, why us? Why this family?
Jeff's parents tried to put the loss of Jason and Kimberly behind them. By 1979, daughters Janae and Melissa had been born. But even with 3 children to care for, their marriage was cracking at the seams.
My wife was more expressive than anybody in the family. At times she would say, you never say anything. And I mean, to me it was very painful to bring it back up.
It was very difficult. It was really hard on our marriage.
Mom wanted to basically stop life in a lot of ways and kind of just shut everything else off. And my dad trying to do his best to keep his mind off of thinking and dwelling on the unfortunate situations that took place, and it really started to separate them.
2 cruel twists of fate had matured and tempered 8-year-old Jeff Garcia. Now he was determined to be the one who would pull his family together.
I really felt like it was my responsibility, being an 8-year-old kid at the time or so, to be there for now my 2 youngest sisters who are now within the family, and do my best to try to create some happiness.
He's the one that got them through everything that they went through, and I mean, if it wasn't for him, I bet my parents probably wouldn't have made it together.
As Jeff reached out to comfort his parents, they responded in kind. His father left his coaching job to devote more time to his children.
I felt guilty in that I had not spent enough time with my children, to love them, to share things that are important in their life, and growing up and teaching them what life's all about.
Being able to have more time to spend with us as a family, and me as a young boy growing up, I think was his way of trying to show that he wanted to be there for his family, wanted to see his son grow up, his daughters grow up.
For the Garcias, being together was the healing they needed.
It developed some great memories of just having so many great moments.
We were always together. It was a big unit.
Jeff and his father grew closer, spending time on the football field.
We were winning games, we were winning championships, and those championships were coming because my dad was the ultimate teacher.
In 1983, with the kids now older, Bob returned to Gavilan as head coach. His tutelage of Jeff continued.
When I went back to Gavilan and started coaching, I would bring the films home, and I'd break all the films, offense and defense.
And I would sit there and I would just listen to him talk about football.
So he was gaining knowledge this whole time as he was growing up. This is before he was in high school.
It started to mold an understanding within me as far as being able to understand the game and the thought process behind the game.
Jeff was about to make the next step in his athletic career at Gilroy High School, but at 5'8" and 140 pounds, he was anything but the ideal specimen.
I found myself kind of a step slow in high school. I wasn't as fast as I wanted to be. I wasn't as strong as I wanted to be. I was kind of lanky at the time.
Jeff intensified his workouts with his father at Gavilan College to sharpen his game.
I started to gain confidence as a player and get notoriety as a player, and really finished that junior year with a solid season, and really believing that if I have another good senior year, well, there might be a scholarship offer ahead of me.
Jeff hoped that a scholarship might come from nearby Stanford.
I really wanted to play for Stanford, and just knew that the prestige behind and what it was all about. And then bad breaks happened.
In a year, he broke his arm. Third game of the season or whatever there was, so everybody just kind of backed off.
I had to be brought back to reality. I had to rethink about what I was going to do with my future.
With his left arm in a cast, the scouts stopped calling. Jeff was left without any avenues to major college football.
They just call and say, well, how's Jeff doing? Well, he broke his arm. Oh, well, good luck, you know, and they just dropped him.
Unfazed, Bob Garcia had a plan. He would have Jeff play for him at Gavilan College.
I said, look, Jeff, you're gonna play for me. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna set up an offense especially for you to showcase your talents.
The fact that I was going to go play for my dad was not at all disappointing to me. It was something that I really looked forward to.
After a year of training and constant film sessions, Jeff was ready to showcase his talents. San Francisco City College would be his first test.
Jeff ends up throwing for about 450 yards, and we beat him. And George Rush, the head coach, comes down and he said, don't tell me. Take your son. I go, yep, that's my son, boy. He said, God darn it, Bobby, he just tore us apart.
We were not holding anything back. It was kind of like an air show every weekend, and that's what made it so fun for me.
Garcia back to pass.
Jeff Garcia was named a junior college All-American.
It started to open some eyes out there.
San Jose State offered him a 3-year scholarship.
Jeff had made it to the next level due in part to his father's constant guidance and support. In the coming year, he would be in jeopardy of losing both.
That night, he went down to his knees, and they figured he had had a heart attack.
She said, Bobby, we love you. And you know what? It's sad that you're not going to see your son play.
Behind them is a 19th century cabin with a 19th century roof. Ahead of them is a 21st century modern with a 21st century electrical system. But right now, life is perfect, thanks to a clear sky, a smooth ride, and the electronic 4-wheel drive, 260 horsepower Acura MDX.
The Home Depot is more than a store. It's an easy way to breathe new life into a room. It's the only place you'll find selections of the best-selling ceiling fan, Hampton Bay, as well as Hunter, in styles that are contemporary, traditional, and everything in between, all at a guaranteed low price. It's installation know-how and the perfect breeze for your afternoon nap. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
Cool shoes.
Yeah, cute.
Time out! Mike here needs to get in touch with his masculine side, fast. Good thing T-Mobile lets him call whenever he wants. Go.
Hi, honey.
The guys and I are gonna go eat some red meat. I don't know when I'm gonna be home.
Did you say cute again?
Yeah. The most whenever minutes, only from T-Mobile.
Get more.
Dear DirecTV, cable says reception quality is poor with satellite TV. Lies! My reception is way better with DirecTV than it ever was with cable. Sincerely, John Amenta. Did I capture the guy's anger? Yeah? Thank you.
Become a DirecTV fan for just $39.99 a month.
Cut!
Want a free trip to where you want to be? You've got to have connections. SBC Infinite Connections. Email us at sbcinfiniteconnections@foxsports.net to win a trip for 2 to LA to visit the best end sports show period set, plus tickets to a game. SBC Infinite Connections, connecting you to where you want to be.
The incredibly agile, sport-tuned IS. It gives new meaning to owning the road. Lease for $329 a month for 39 months or $3,429 due at signing on approved credit. See your Northern California Lexus dealer.
Okay, your free checking account's all set up.
Great. Hey, what are you...
Oh, that's just Bob. Morning.
He'll be assessing your check card fees for you.
Isn't this a free checking account?
Oh, technically, yes. Hi. Miss Blackburn's deducting your monthly account fee. Nice to meet you.
Tired of being faked out by your bank's version of free?
Okay, what now?
Oh, I don't know. He doesn't work here.
Get a checking account that's truly free. Washington Mutual. More human interest.
McDonald's new McGriddles. Crisp bacon, fluffy egg, and melted cheese. Sandwiched between two griddle cakes with the taste of maple syrup baked right in. Honey, you ever seen anything so bizarre? Honey?
No, I haven't.
Introducing new McGriddles. They're bizarre, but they're yummy.
Who's your sensei?
Takes you inside the world of extreme sports each and every weeknight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 weeknights on Fox Sports Net.
Now's your chance to get out of debt and get cash back just for paying your bills on time. Cambridge Credit Counseling has paid over $6 million to qualified clients through its Good Payer program.
We've gotten 3 checks so far. One for $230, another for $135.
And the last one was $150, just for paying on time every month.
Cambridge Credit Counseling is a non-profit service. They'll work with you and your creditors to reduce your monthly payments. It's a fresh start.
Imagine if you could reduce the interest rate on your credit cards and get your unsecured debt paid off a lot quicker.
Before, it would have taken me 15 to 20 years to get out of debt. Now I'll be debt-free in less than 5 years.
My monthly payments were overwhelming. Now I have payments that are easily manageable.
A phone call, a couple of faxes, and we were done.
Give Cambridge Credit Counseling a call. Find out how good it feels to be debt-free.
Get cash back just for paying your bills on time with Cambridge Credit Counseling, where getting out of debt has never been so rewarding.
That.
His 1 year as the starting quarterback of Gavilan Junior College, Jeff Garcia looked to raise his stock in the eyes of Division I scouts. Father and coach Bob Garcia made sure this would happen by centering his offense around Jeff.
He ran for 700 yards. Jeff did. As a guy that out of high school goes, hey, he can't run. 700 yards, that's a #1 runner. And then passed for almost 2,000 yards.
In 1990, Jeff accepted a full scholarship to nearby San Jose State. That same year, Jeff's dad was entering his 20th season as head coach of Gavilan. The decades of stress would take a toll on Bob Garcia in the season opener.
That night, he went down to his knees, and they figured he'd had a heart attack, and his blood pressure was sky high, but he wouldn't get off the field.
The stubborn Garcia wouldn't acknowledge the heart attack. That Monday, his peers at Gavilan College confronted him.
Finally, this one woman, Pete, she said, Bobby, we love you. And you know what? It's sad that you're not going to see your son play, because you're going to die.
So they sent him up to St. Mary's the next day, and he had a 5-way bypass.
Bob would retire from coaching and live to see Jeff play.
I was given that opportunity to be on this earth for a few more years and be with him every day, and I went to all his games at San Jose State.
In 1991, Jeff played sparingly as a backup until an injury to the first-team quarterback gave him a shot as a starter. He never looked back.
This is my opportunity to run with it. I'm going to run with it, and I'm going to make the most of it.
In Jeff's junior year, the Stanford Cardinal were the biggest game on the schedule.
I had always wanted to go to Stanford. I watched John Elway play at Stanford and watched him on TV.
San Francisco 49er legend Bill Walsh had just accepted the job as head coach at Stanford. Although Stanford crushed San Jose State, Walsh came away with a lasting impression of Jeff.
This one player could do things that were really out of the ordinary.
He could move, he could avoid, he could find receivers. He had great instincts.
In Jeff's senior year, San Jose State was playing poorly as a team. Undaunted, Garcia set his sights on Stanford and led the Spartans to a near upset.
He almost beat us by himself.
This guy getting ready to break all of the San Jose State passing records.
After having worked with Joe Montana and Steve Young, I could see those qualities in Jeff Garcia.
That's pretty cool that Bill Walsh, who I watched coach the 49ers and watched coach Joe Montana, would say something like that. He's got to know what he's talking about, right? He's the guru.
Although San Jose State finished 2-9 that season, Jeff broke the school record for total yards and wound up 15th in the nation in total offense. More importantly, he made an ally in Bill Walsh.
I earned the respect of Bill Walsh, and he had a lot of very positive things to say about me.
Jeff was selected to play in the East-West Shrine All-Star game played that year at Stanford Stadium. Before the game, Jeff spoke to Coach Walsh.
He said, well, Coach, I just want to thank you for some of the things that you said that day. And he goes, hey, you were deserving of it. And you know what? This Saturday, you're going to be the MVP of the game. And I kind of like shook my head. And I'm like, all right, well, thanks, Coach.
56 years earlier, Jeff's grandfather, Red Elder, had played in the game as an all-conference halfback from Kansas State. Jeff and Red were honored that day as the only grandfather and grandson to ever participate in the event.
He was down there on the field for the coin toss. It was just awesome.
And for him to go and play as he did, you couldn't have written a better story.
The West trailed the East late in the fourth quarter. With just over 6 minutes remaining in the game, Jeff engineered 3 scoring drives to put his team a point away from tying the game. They would go for the 2-point conversion.
Takes it through the end zone all the way to the corner of the end zone where all the people were from Gilroy. Jumps in the stands, everyone's going crazy, high five.
It was just a special time in my life that was shared by many important people in my life.
The guru had been prophetic.
Jeff was the most valuable player in the East-West game, came in and won the game in the fourth quarter. And so I'm assuming that Jeff will be one of the top draft choices.
With many pro scouts at the game, Jeff thought for sure he would be selected in the upcoming NFL draft. He was wrong.
I remember even my college coach at the time, John Ralston, was quoted in the paper as saying, well, he's not a real big guy, he doesn't have a real strong arm, but, you know, he's tough as nails and he'll give his all for you type deal. And I'm like, here's my coach, you're already knocking me.
Draft day came and went. Jeff's name was never called.
Well, it's kind of disappointing. We sat there for 2 days. We thought maybe we'd get a nibble.
Shocked, Bill Walsh stepped in to offer some help by contacting 15 NFL teams on Jeff's behalf. He got only one response.
It came from a guy by the name of Coach Mariucci, who was the quarterback coach at Green Bay at the time. And basically what he said is that, Jeff, I have a pretty good group of quarterbacks right now. I have Mark Brunell, Brett Favre, and Ty Detmer. We're probably going to bring a quarterback in who's just going to be a camp guy, doesn't really have a chance of making the team.
We decided on a guy, I don't know if you've ever heard of him or not. His name is Kurt Warner from Northern Iowa.
That spring, the Calgary Stampeders of the Canadian Football League offered Jeff a tryout. Disappointed, but not disheartened. Jeff would give Calgary a go, but his real ambition still lay with the NFL.
He pretty much said, you still have to make this team play in this league. You're not an NFL player. You're not going to be able to play in the NFL.
This is my bridge.
This is my building.
And this is my truck.
For people that care about getting the job done right, we built the Toyota Tundra better from the ground up.
On DVD June 24th.
He was the one cop
You gotta be heartless in my line of work.
no one dared to take on. Kurt Russell in the first great movie of 2003, Dark Blue, on DVD June 24th.
Aye, oh, let's go. Aye, oh, let's go. Aye, oh, let's go. Aye, oh, let's go. The moment in a straight line. You're going through a tight one. You get a little never. Let's drink. Aye, oh.
When you can get the best of wireless without a contract, that's M-Life. Go phone, only from AT&T Wireless.
Let's go.
I've made a lot of news on the baseball diamond, but if you want to find out about this diamond, you got to go talk to your doctor.
Ready to try Viagra for the first time? See your doctor and find out if a free sample's right for you.
My doctor says it's right for me. That's why I stay with it. For more information, go to Viagra.com.
Viagra congratulates Rafael Palmeiro on his...
Value begins with Toyota quality.
Coming soon on Beyond the Glory.
He's a modern-day Babe Ruth.
Reggie White's going to take over this game.
The Moses of football.
Look at Holyfield. What a warrior.
When you talk about heart, there's nobody that had more heart.
Knocked out by Lawrence
He
Taylor.
basically said, here's how you really play it.
His feats are superhuman.
Half man. Half amazing.
He's a one-man traveling circus, flying through the air with the greatest of ease.
He jumped over his head.
Twisting time and space in ways even his peers can't always believe.
People just don't know what the world did this boy just do.
Despite his youth, he has faced a lifetime of adversity.
I mean, he really stunk.
You say I can't handle the big games. At some point in time, you're gonna swallow your words.
Off the court, his world was crashing down around him. He was betrayed by a trusted friend.
I'm angry now because you took this child's money.
And then deserted by another.
He was disappointed because he saw a bright future for the both of us. I didn't see it that way.
While Vince excelled on the world stage, his brother languished in the county jail.
You never want to see anyone have to be arrested.
4 walls and a door. If you don't get to know yourself better in that situation, you'll never know.
He has invited criticism.
I made it clear to both sides. I said, I'm gonna go get my degree. I said, but I'm going to go play in that game.
And he has demanded accountability.
I was sitting there like shaking. I said, Coach, I'm gonna get open. I'm gonna get us a shot. I'm gonna win the game.
Carter trying to get free.
This is Vince Carter, Beyond the Glory.
I'm in the spotlight every day. It was very terrifying, man.
There's people who make things happen, people who watch things happen, and people who don't know what the hell's happening. Well, I'm the type of person that's going to make something happen.
Beyond the Glory, Sundays 8 p.m. on Fox Sports Net.
This Fox Sports Net Sports Update has been brought to you by Subway.
Do it.
Because
So, what can I get you? How's that new steak Chipotle? You mean our new Chipotle Southwest steak and cheese? It's sliced steak and melted cheese topped with a Chipotle pepper sauce for a spicy kick. I'll take it. Whatever you say. Subway, eat fresh.
Do it.
Because
So, what can I get you? How's that new steak Chipotle? You mean our new Chipotle Southwest steak and cheese? It's sliced steak and melted cheese topped with a Chipotle pepper sauce for a spicy kick. I'll take it. Whatever you say. Subway, eat fresh.
In the summer of 1994, Jeff Garcia was about to realize his dream of playing professional football. Hundreds of miles away from the nearest American city. Canada became Jeff's training ground. There were obvious advantages.
The field is larger. There is more forward passing, more movement, more dealing with weather conditions, all those elements that can help really prepare a quarterback for the NFL.
The Calgary Stampeders signed Jeff as a backup to the league's reigning MVP, Doug Flutie.
I tried to study Doug and see why he made certain decisions, why he did certain things.
The following year, in 1995, Jeff replaced an injured Flutie as starter. In 8 games, he amassed close to 4,000 total yards from scrimmage and accounted for 30 scores. At the end of the 1995 season, the Stampeders did not re-sign free agent Doug Flutie.
Doug went on to Toronto. I became the full-time starter in Calgary, and you know, it led to 3 great years.
On November 22nd, 1998, Jeff Garcia led the Stampeders to the Grey Cup, the CFL Super Bowl. Trailing Hamilton by 1 point with less than 3 minutes to go, he brought his team down the field and in position to win.
The last drive, driving down the field, the last play of the game, Mark McLaughlin kicks a field goal. We all jump on the field.
That was the icing on the cake. That was such a great way to finish off such a great experience.
In 1999, word had spread throughout the NFL of Jeff Garcia's exploits in Canada. Doug Flutie, now at the Buffalo Bills, had renewed the league's interest in the product up north.
That brought some attention my way, and the fact that I had had 3.5 solid years of being a starter and putting up good numbers, being a winner out on the football field, winning a championship, and now my opportunities were starting to open up out there.
An old friend was about to give him the opportunity he dreamed of. On January 20th, 1999, Bill Walsh returned to San Francisco as general manager of the 49ers. Remembering a promise he had made years earlier, he offered Jeff Garcia a tryout.
I was just crossing my fingers that he would make the impression that I'd hope he would. I mean, that's how close we were.
On February 16th, 1999, Jeff became a 49er.
When I signed that contract, I wanted to share it with the world. I wanted to share it with everybody who had ever had a moment in my life or shared a moment in my life with me.
Jeff found himself in familiar territory. This time as backup to former 2-time NFL MVP Steve Young. He waited patiently, hoping to learn just as he had behind Flutie in Calgary. It didn't work out that way.
3rd game of the season, Steve Young's out. Out.
You know, Steve had to fill Joe's shoes, and now Jeff has to fill Steve's shoes in this game, and we needed to win the game, and that was the bottom line.
Make no stupid throws and don't get sacked.
I don't make a mistake, or I don't make any major mistakes. We do enough good things to win that game, and I'm thinking, well, this is easy.
He is right in the thick of it right now, Al.
We didn't know how long Steve would be hurt, but we did know we had a capable backup in Jeff Garcia. He just hadn't gone through the growing pains in our offense.
Jeff was called to duty before he was coached up, before he was ready to perform well.
The combination of a rookie quarterback surrounded by a young team would undo San Francisco. After 4 straight losses and a 39-yard passing performance at Pittsburgh, Jeff was benched. The Niners were a dismal 3-5.
That was difficult on everybody in 49er land, okay? After having 16 years of great success, to just almost crash and burn.
The quarterback at times gets too much credit as well as too much blame. And when things weren't going right, the quickest thing to fix then is probably a quarterback position.
That's when I first realized that football was no longer a game to me. It was, the fun part of it had been taken away from me.
Jeff was crushed.
He was definitely shaken, crying, upset, thinking, did we make a bad decision? Can I really play this game? Am I an NFL player?
We talked and, you know, we encouraged him and said, hey, things will get better. You got to continue to work hard. You got to continue to do the things that are going to make you a better football player.
49er quarterback coach Greg Knapp used some positive reinforcement to improve Jeff's outlook.
He took me aside one day and he put together a highlight film of all of my successful plays as a 49er.
He really took heart to it. He went back and studied the tape himself to watch what he did right and what he did wrong.
If you know Jeff and you know his family and you know their background and you know their history of all the tragedies that they've been through, you can realize and understand why throwing an interception is something that he can shake off real fast. You know, it's not the worst thing that's ever happened to him.
Jeff regained the starting job and exploded in the final 5 games of the season, throwing for over 300 yards 3 times. However, the Niners finished 4-12. The San Francisco media and fans were not used to losing.
Think of this, trying to live up to Steve Young, Hall of Fame, Joe Montana, greatest ever. Trying to live up to that from what the fans had seen.
When angry fans complained to a local radio program, Jeff's dad came to his son's defense.
The first 4 guys that came on the radio, they were all Niner fans and just bad-mouthing like you couldn't believe. So I said, I'm getting on the radio.
I don't care what anybody says.
Bob, you know your stuff. You sound like you might be the coach.
Well, I am. I'm Jeff's dad.
Jeff got a lot of heat for that.
People that doubted him, the media, some of the fans.
You know what? That's my son. And I don't care what anybody says. They're firing on him. I'm going to come out firing on them. I don't care.
I'll probably be calling the radio on my kids someday too. I don't know. It was such a great example of great family loyalty. He probably thought a lot about, do I call or do I not? But his emotions probably got the best of him. And he said, darn it, I'm going to defend my son.
The fire Bob Garcia displayed would be matched by his son. Jeff answered his critics by throwing 31 touchdown passes and making the Pro Bowl. His 4,278 yards in the air eclipsed Joe Montana and Steve Young, establishing a new 49ers team record. Despite Jeff's achievements, the 49ers missed the playoffs for the 2nd year in a row. The city of San Francisco would accept nothing less than the ultimate prize, the Super Bowl.
When people doubt me, whether it's physically or mentally, or just believe that I can't do something, that's what drives me to want to do it.
If we're going to win the Super Bowl, Jeff Garcia is going to be the quarterback to take us there. And that's the way we see it.
Beyond the Glory on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Principal Financial.
Why do we work? Why do we get up every day and leave the people we love? At the Principal Financial Group, we know you work for more than just a paycheck. For 120 years, the Principal has helped people keep more of the money they make and do more with the money they save. You work hard. We make work hard for you. The Principal Financial Group. We understand what you're working for.
Introducing the all-wheel drive Infiniti FX, the SUV with the heart of a sports car. The new Infiniti FX.
Hey, welcome to Casa de Top, where we're always making collect calls by dialing down the center with 1-800-CALLATT. It's free for you, cheap for them. All right. I like to watch.
Save on every call. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
Property overgrown? Call 1-800-437-5353 for your free catalog on the amazing DR Field and Brush Mower. There's never been an easier way to clear weeds and brush. So call 1-800-437-5353 today.
Behind them is a snippy maitre d' and a wilted Caesar. In front of them is a family drama playing itself out. But right now, life is perfect. Thanks to a full moon, a powerful engine, and the Autobahn-tested suspension of the Acura RL.
Attention new car and truck buyers, the deals are here. During the 4th of July sales event, get 0% financing for 60 months or up to $4,000 cash back. That's no interest financing for 60 months or up to $4,000 cash back on select cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, Ford will match down payments of up to $1,000 on Explorer 4-doors. Now is the time to buy. But the 4th of July event ends soon, so don't miss out. Hurry to your local Ford store today.
Whatever happened to the house call? The doctor would show up at the front door and treat the patient right there at home. Who does that anymore? Well, SBC does.
Won't be long.
Only our black bag is a yellow laptop. They may not be doctors, but they do make house calls.
Phone?
I have good news. The customer. That's who we answer to. SBC.
If ever you're not satisfied with one of our tires, please feel free to bring it back. Thank you. America's Tire Company.
America's Tire Company offers low prices on every tire every day, including major brands like Goodyear and Dunlop. Low prices, every tire, every day. It's all about price. It's all about service. It's all about saving you money. Low prices, every tire, every day. America's Tire Company.
Hi, I'm William Walker, and I used to sell satellite dishes. A word of advice if you're thinking about getting one, don't. They were going to charge me $250 for the install, so I figured I'd do it myself. How hard could it be? I used to sell them. To get a signal, I had to put the dish on a pole. Then the wind knocked out the pitcher. The dish company told me, wait, they'll come back. I got rid of the dish and got Comcast digital cable. I don't sell the dish anymore.
The Captioned Media program is making a real difference in classrooms all over the United States. The CMP delivers free loan open captioned videos right to your classroom. Even if you have just one deaf student, you should visit cfb.org now to search our entire collection of educational videos. Each video comes with a lesson guide. Captions help the hearing students in your class too. Put the CMP to work in your classroom today with a visit to cfb.org. The Captioned Media program. Call today.
54321, weeknights on Fox Sports Net.
In 2001, Jeff Garcia was realizing his dream. He had just signed a 6-year, $36 million contract with his hometown team. But to 49er fans, he was a high-priced quarterback with only 10 wins in 2 seasons.
Coming into the 49er empire after the success the quarterbacks here have had with Joe Montana and Steve Young, and being the next quarterback after that, that's almost as difficult as following Bill Walsh and George Seifert. That's the next coach.
Well, Jeff Garcia does not play for the money, although obviously that's important. He plays because he loves the game, he wants to play, he wants to succeed. This is an art form for Jeff.
Jeff and his teammates answered the call to win. A 12-4 regular season record with 4 come-from-behind wins and a playoff berth signaled a change in attitude and a reversal of fortune. The Niners were back.
What we've learned about Jeff, what's been great, is that competition, that fierce attitude of just win at all costs, and I'm not going to ever give up and never say die.
Jeff Garcia is awesome.
Jeff's never-say-die attitude was evident in 2002. After leading the team to an NFC West division title, Garcia and the Niners faced the hottest team in the NFC, the New York Giants. The Giants took a seemingly insurmountable lead, down 24 points late in the third quarter. The Niners looked to their quarterback for leadership.
He's always positive. You know, it's always, we're going to go score. It's time to take over this game. It's time to do what we have to do. It's time for this offense to lead this team to victory. These are the things that you get in the huddle and he fires you up about.
Jeff led a frantic comeback with precision passes, clutch runs, and big plays. With just over a minute to go, Garcia delivered the clincher.
Garcia fires.
San Francisco had advanced, and Jeff Garcia had won his first NFL playoff game.
Joe Montana had his signature game. Steve Young had his signature games. This is Jeff Garcia's signature game.
Although the 49ers didn't make it to the Super Bowl, Jeff Garcia had made a statement. He is the future for the San Francisco 49ers at quarterback. Never satisfied, he looks to improve.
I have to continue to grow as a quarterback. I think that I've taken those steps, those gradual steps over the past 3 seasons, but I'm not content. In no way am I satisfied with where I'm at. I want to be better. I want to be the guy who helps lead this team to a Super Bowl championship.
Today, Jeff finds comfort in his family and continues to rely on their closeness as the foundation to his life. He never forgets those tragedies he overcame.
I have never forgotten my brother or sister. I truly believe that they are still with me in everything that I do, that they're seeing everything that's taking place. And that's really kind of a lot of my motivation to try to better myself and to be a better football player, not only on the field, but off the field, to be a better person, more so than anything else, to be more complete.